podcast. You just whatever sound effects you want to make.
No. It's a fully heavy
microphone.
It's a heavy fully recording, and then I take all that out. So
burp, smack your lips as much as possible. People love it. People love Foley. Hey, what's going on? It's fun. A podcast where we take fun very seriously. I hope that Nathan leaves that part in because that was fun. And
no, I'm not going to.
No, you have to now. You have to because now my intro is talking about the bit we just did.
I hate that.
It doesn't spoil anything. The guest hasn't been spoiled. No one's been introduced yet. It's still organic. It's still following the flow. So I'm just in your honor. Your honor. I just want to say that this is a Foley pod. We're a fan of Foley here on the podcast.
The man.
We love a sound effects. Ooh, that's all I'm saying. You leave comments. Tell me how much you love the Foley of the podcast. I'm sure.
No, don't do that.
With me, I have the Chuckle Wizard because I am the Chuckle King.
A frustrated Chuckle Wizard.
We have to get into the habit of deeming every guest their own.
No, we're not creating weird lore. Too much lore.
We are 100% going to create.
People have too much lore.
All right, Nathan.
People have too much lore.
You met a fan?
I did, yeah.
Was it oscillating or a stationary or ceiling? What kind of fan did you meet?
Oh, damn, that's so funny. My goodness. It's a surprise more people don't listen. I was at the Maryland Folk Festival, which is my hometown, and I met a fan. I don't believe she gave me her name, but I was getting some food and she stopped by and she said, "Hey, I'm a fan of the podcast." And my brain was like, I've done other podcasts and I have a public radio show that, generally speaking, if I'm home, if someone says, "Hey, I love what you're doing," like it's about the radio show, and I was like, "Which podcast?" And she was like, fun. And I was like, oh, right. And so I was a little gobsmacked because I've never,
it's the new glasses. They just are a beacon. They're a beautiful beacon to fandom. And
these weren't
humanity.
there. These weren't there. These were pre-glasses. This is just someone out of the blue.
She could see that they were coming your way.
Yeah. And, I would just like to say, I told her I would say to you, hey, so it's great to have a listener.
So please approach Nathan. If you're a stranger, please approach Nathan.
No, absolutely.
Nathan
please
loves
do.
No stranger danger for Nathan.
I
loves
have no issue with it.
Now,
yeah, I do. I would say I've had it occur at Disney, and with you, Dan, we had you got some. Oh my gosh. When we were together
I
at
love talking
Lumen.
to people. I have no stranger danger.
Yeah, you have no stranger danger. Some people came up. This is the first time it's ever happened in my hometown, so I guess I'm famous now. Who knew?
You are.
I knew. Amazing.
Yeah,
incredible.
Congrats.
No,
I'm proud of you.
But thanks for stopping by.
You made it big,
hi.
baby.
Oh,
you did.
My mama, she's so
Speaking
proud.
of making it big, though, I got an incredible guest for you today. He's the owner and operator of a little establishment called Orlando Informer that hosts, arguably, and I will argue the case today, the greatest after-hours theme park event that has ever been. It's Taylor Strickland from Orlando Informer. Taylor, welcome.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
Taylor, dude, do you clearly know what you're doing because you're doing it. You're doing the coolest theme. You're living the theme park dream, buddy. It's like you are Charlie. You got the golden ticket, and Willie's still alive, but you're Charlie in training. You know what I mean? And so Willie's like,
aren't you Charlie, Dan? And
what?
And you get to enter the wonder?
Bro. Taylor's Charlie, and then Charlie he has after-hour parties once Willie's asleep. You know what I mean? And Charlie is open. Everybody's like, come on.
I don't think that was
hang out with the Oompa Loompas. They're cool.
Elevator.
They all vibe. Come hang out with the Oompa Loompas. And then we all swim in the river. And then Willie wanks up and everything's normal again.
None of that
Taylor,
intellectual
it's wild
property
what you're doing, dude.
Is owned by that. Yeah.
Can you just tell us at its core what Orlando Informer is to you and to the Florida community?
Well, Orlando Informer to me is just my life. I don't know.
But what's its mission? What's your mission with it? Because it's not, there are a lot of Orlando tourism sites, from theme park related ones to just NASA related ones and Orange Grove. You want a Orlando tourism site? We got them. We're swimming in them. What makes Orlando Informer different?
Absolutely. So I would say that's, probably our community. And so we have a wonderful, particularly on Facebook, we have a wonderful community. And that's really what how the event started. And so, I'd say that's the
Oh,
differentiator. But as to what Orlando Informer, is at its core is, we'd say we're a vacation planning website, and we have a number of offerings, including the events, the Orlando Informer Meetup, and then we also sell daytime admission to theme parks and hotel stays and some other things as well. But yeah, but the
oh,
big
gotcha.
is
So you're
the
also
meetup.
like a booking site in a way. Like you can
Hmm.
go get stuff and use your deals, and you aggregate deals, and you're doing that as well as the meetups. And and what I also really appreciate about you is because I know you're a theme park fan, and you've elevated yourself into this position in a way that, like, honestly, and I hope that people see this in you. It's like a inside the magic Ricky Briganti sort of energy, which it's like, hey, I got the keys to the kingdom. These people that I'm partnering with and working with, I get to hang out with them now and like share my joy through like the media. I love watching you at media events versus like
Oh,
anyone
thank
else,
you.
because you're like just hyped to be there. You know what I mean? And be like, all right, guys,
Yeah.
check it out. And it's not like you're treating it like this is my 75th media event this year, and here's how the cocktails look. You know what I mean? Like you're
Yeah.
hugging stuff, you're sniffing things, you're kissing things. You know what I mean? It's awesome. It's fun to watch.
Yeah. Absolutely. I do love it, right? And so hopefully that comes through in the interview and everything that people experience at Orlando Informer, because I do think a big piece of it is really everyone's passion for it. Like, you're giving me a lot of credit in the intro here, but we have a great team, we have wonderful partners, and really, I mean, everyone we work with and everyone at Orlando Informer, it's really a requirement to have a high degree of passion for this.
Yeah, yeah, you do have an awesome team, and I have to give them all a shout out. I love, we email all the time. I come to your events. I love hyping them up and making weird stuff at them. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, see,
And,
just so the audience understands, this is Dan's enthusiasm. We've not
Oh
been
my
paid
gosh.
for this podcast.
No,
This
well,
is not
no,
a commercial.
no.
This is just Dan's.
No, I'm
Dan
so
he
hyped
just
on
loves
Orlando
the things that
Informer
he
meetups.
loves. Yeah.
I talk about them on the podcast all the time. And so I eventually came to the realization, oh, I could just ask Taylor to come on and we could just talk about it. And so I'm pretty hyped about it. I didn't realize it was a Facebook kind of thing. Can you tell me more about that? Like, it was a Facebook group that like was like event, like we're going to do events together, hang out together kind of thing. Like, I'm very fascinated by the community aspect of it.
Absolutely. So, my first job at Orlando Former, because I didn't create Orlando Former, I was in high school and
Oh,
I thought I wanted to do something related to theme parks. And so I thought it would be cool to have on my resume while I'm in high school. They were looking for forum moderators, which is just like a contract position, but there was like a forum on OrlandoFormer.com where you could ask vacation planning questions. And so
yeah.
I applied, and I didn't meet a lot of the qualifications. Like, they were looking for someone 21 plus in Orlando, which I was neither of those things. Um,
What are you running a nightclub? Come on, it's just a forum.
but they were looking for someone with experience with forum software, which I had a little bit of that, oddly enough, and then knowledgeable in the theme parks, and I was doing okay there. And so, got to do that for a few months, and eventually the former owner, wanted to close down the website, and I offered to buy it from him instead of him close it down. He was very set on closing it down, but and so the forum stuck around for a little bit, but I this was like one of the very first, like, I don't want to say controversial, it's not the right word, but it was one of the first like larger decisions I made with the business, because the people on the forum really liked the forum. So it was a big deal when I said, hey, like, we're going to shut down the forum, and a lot of it moved over to Facebook groups. And so that would be probably mid 2015, I would guess.
Okay,
And so
so like a big part of your success was this decision, this like controversial decision to be like, all right, the forums, the idea of online forums, people are not going to be going to websites soon. They're going to be going to one website where everything is in that one website. And you saw that coming. You're like, Facebook is where all these people are going to be hanging out. That's the real forum. No one's going to be opening up Chrome and Facebook at the same time to be hanging out here and here. We're just going all in here. And that's like what shifted like the Orlando Informer sort of like trajectory.
yeah, I mean, I don't want to say, that was the one thing or anything of that nature, but it definitely, from my perspective, looking back, and of course it's way easier to look back than it is,
Yeah,
at the time, but
sure.
um
Lessons learned though, right?
Yes. I think it was much better. It's much more easy for someone to discover and to grow the community. The community was great on the forum, but it was very limited, and it's very tough to like. You can get people to like lurk on a forum, but it's very tough to get someone to sign up.
And
I mean, there's
engage,
very few
right?
forums now that exist other than Reddit. It's Reddit and Facebook. It's not really,
Right, exactly.
individual
Yeah,
forums.
100%. Whoa, that's cool. So when you were like, when did you cross the threshold from like being like a forum group to like selling tickets and organizing meetups and stuff like that? Like what was the threshold where you're like, oh, there's something here? Because you always kept OrlandoInformer.com. It was just where the forums were moved to Facebook. So you still had this masthead of a business that was still there, right? And was Orlando Informer
Yes.
selling tickets when you acquired it, kind of thing, or did you do that?
No, when I acquired Orlando Informer, it was almost purely like a blog information kind of. So there was over 300 very well maintained in-depth pages on Universal, and so we've done our best to keep that going to this day. Actually,
Cool,
I mean, I bet
cool,
now it's
cool.
over. We should count again now that Epic's open because it's probably like 400 plus now. But anyways,
Oh, I
it was
bet.
300, for so long. But anyways, yeah. So that's what was there, and that was the bread and butter. And so basically the revenue was just from ads on the website and nothing else. There was nothing being sold. There was a period in Orlando Former history before I joined where there was a subscription. If you wanted like access to all these pages, you'd have to get a subscription kind of thing. But
Yeah,
by the time I joined Orlando Informer, that was gone, and it was purely just Google AdSense on the website.
sure.
And then to kind of more directly answer your question, the events came first. And so the events came because there was 17 people, I want to say it was 17 people on the forum that all wanted to get together and have dinner at Cowfish. And we had a little trouble
Okay.
getting the dinner reservation. It wasn't during a super busy time, but it's just sometimes it's hard to get a larger dinner reservation at any
Sure.
restaurant.
Yeah.
And so we eventually got it, but I thought to myself, oh, there has to be kind of a better way to do this. And so reached out to Universal, and I've really had the privilege to work with some of the same individuals now. Sunday, so the first ever like official like event with Universal was a Navigators Club, which is in Islands of Adventure above Confisco's. And
Okay.
it's 10 years ago on Sunday. So a couple days from now is the actual like 10 years. And so
Wow.
I've had the privilege to work with some of the same individuals at Universal that entire time. Really amazing people over there. And but the dream was to do a event in one area of one park. Like I thought like that would be so cool. And that was the second event. And I was about to graduate high school when that second event happened. And so it was kind of like, oh, well, maybe we need to think a little bigger. But even then, it was never like, oh, let's think about doing the entire two theme parks.
Whoa. Okay. So first we can't get a reservation at Cowfish. Then it's okay. We'll reserve a restaurant in the park, which I didn't think. Of course, it's a thing you can do. People get married. People like get corners of the parks. They have receptions. That stuff happens. So of course that is an option that's available. And then it becomes a land of a park. Which land did you get for the second event?
It was Diagon Alley.
Whoa. Okay. And you just got
That's a
Diagon Alley.
jump. That's a pretty big jump from Cowfish for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Cowfish, but
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is obviously amazing, and so Diagon, it was very new at the time, right? So I mean, it was only a couple years old,
yeah.
at that point, and so yeah, it was, beyond my wildest dreams that even happened.
Right. How many people roughly do you remember do you need for the restaurant? Like, is it like, can you put 100 people in it? Is it like 50 people? Do they cap it aggressively, or could you fill a restaurant at one of the parks? Like if you have a party big enough for it?
Yeah, well, Navigators Club is above Confisco. I don't know off the top of my head, so it would depend on like if it's seated versus cocktail style. But in our case,
Oh,
I
okay.
want to say I think we had maybe 50 people there for that first one.
Cool. And so after that first event, people are posting pictures on Facebook. They're at they're in the park at a private thing. Was like, how much interest did that first event? Like, did it multiply by like tenfold? Like, was the FOMO real? Like, did people be like, "Oh, this was something that's cool"?
Yeah.
Because I think if you're a real theme park fan, especially if you're a local, I don't think that a lot of people necessarily understand that you do eventually run into moments where like, oh, a park's closing early because Home Depot's taking it over, and it's like, what? Like, what do you mean my park day is over and Home Depot's like they're rolling out? I remember being in Islands Adventure and watching them like roll out a giant Hulk shaped cake as like the park was closing at like 4:30 or something insane. You know what I mean? It was like, what is going on? And there was always this sort of, you are aware that corporate takeovers happen at parks, but you don't really get a taste of it. And like the sweet life as like a local, you're just in the parks are your mall and you're going there and you're dumping cash into it however you want to do, but you don't feel, you're not living that you know, that luxury experience of just the doors are open at a theme park and it's yours, you know? And so it's wild to see how much people like recognize that as like, I want that, you know, I want to do that.
Yeah. Again, looking back, I think it's a lot easier to, you know,
Sure.
to say there was a master plan, and, you know, but there were, I mean, you know, I
it just
was
organically grew.
it was a very organic. I was still in high school.
That's
and
wild that you're in high school.
There was
man.
not,
That's crazy.
there was not a big team. Like nowadays, you know, like there's a big team, and it was very, very small at that time. I mean, for years I was the one answering, and I still love answering, because, you know, we have like a guest service number. You know, if someone has a question about the event, they can email and things like that. Lots of different ways to contact us. But for years I was like, we did not have like a guest service team. Like it was me. It was me answering the phone.
How many years now has it grown to a team? Like how many years have you had a team now?
It depends on, like, you know, where, I mean, there was always individuals helping, right? Like it was never just like me,
Sure.
But I mean, you know, I don't remember. It
Well, it's a
probably would have been
community-based business, like
20.
you said. Like it's
Yeah.
so of course it was a community. Everyone wants to support the community they're in. Totally, yeah.
Now,
Yes, but oh, good.
well, I was going to say, it feels like a big, even jump from Diagon Alley to getting to have your name put on the Men in Black building.
You have photos. I didn't know you had photos.
Oh yeah, we're
photos.
fancy like that,
Dude. And I'm playing it chill here, but it's not just like the ride logo is projected inside like attractions, not just on attractions. Like the Mummy ride has it like in the first like section of the
Death
poster.
is only the beginning. Brought to you by Orlando Informer.
Yes, no, but seriously, it's amazing. Yeah, like this.
What does that feel like though, to have your name on? Like, it's got to be really weird. I know, like, there's well, I paid for that, but also like it's got to be a weird kind of brain breaking moment.
Yes, using Revenge of the Mummy as an example. I don't remember what year we first did that, but that's something we do, I think, pretty much every event nowadays.
Yeah.
And that is, yeah, that one in particular was, you know, very, very surreal. There's lots of surreal moments in the whole 10-year history of the Orlando Forum Meetup. I mean, every event in some way is, you know, surreal.
Yeah.
There's something that we do. There's something new. I mean, we're really trying to, we do really try to top the last event, right? And that's a lot of times listening to guest feedback, but, you know, sometimes it's like, just as fans, you know, it'd be really cool to do X, Y, or Z. And, you know, it's sometimes it takes a little while, but, you know, we eventually try to get it done and make it happen. But yeah, I try to, every event, I try to at least take a couple minutes just to kind of like look around and think because you know, our plan is to do it for a really long time, but one day, for whatever reason, they're not going to happen anymore. You know, I could retire, you know, 30 years from, you know, whatever it is, like, you know, like, you know, you just never know with anything in life. I don't think anything's guaranteed. And so I do try to really, at least they're very chaotic, very long days, but I try to take a couple minutes and just think to myself, like, you know, this is really, really incredible, and really just appreciate kind of the environment that I'm
they're
in.
insane days, man. I can't imagine how long the day is for you. Do you even sleep on the weekends that they happen? Yeah, I guess during the day, like a vampire. You turn into a vampire. You must.
Right.
Well, we begin preparing about noon, so
Sure.
there are some of the team 11. Well, I guess I should specify. You know, some of the team is starting at probably 6 or 7, because we'll have guests reach out, you know, 6 or 7 in the morning about the question that evening. But the bulk of the team, you know, is on site by noon, and then not leaving until probably 2 in the morning.
Wow.
give or take. And
Wow.
then you're on such a high too. You don't want to like. It's not like you get
Yeah.
back to the room and you're just like, hey, like let me fall. Like
Yeah.
for me at least, I need to like cool off a little bit and just like kind of like
Dan, we know
read
that theater
something else
high.
or
We know what that feels
yeah.
like. You're
Yeah,
just
no,
vibing.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
hmm
Yeah. So that's wild. So it goes from Diagon Alley to what? You get a park, or you dive right into the both park event kind of thing?
We did the next step was the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Hogsmeade, and Diagon Alley,
Oh, great.
and
Train
then
connected sort of thing.
and
Nice.
then the next
Super
step after
smart.
that was 2 nights, the same thing but 2 nights.
I gotcha. Now, are these like, you're working with a Universal is so cool, and it's such a vibe because they are a local company in a lot of ways that Disney isn't, and so that you get access to a team that's going to let you project your logo in the Mummy attraction, because like why not? We're having fun, it's like just choices about fun, like are these like packages that other businesses like have done, like rental things that they're rolling out? Or are you helping them by what you're requesting design things that then they offer to IKEA if they want to have a party or whatever?
Yeah, I think it just depends on the specific, the answer is both, I guess, to some degree, right? But I think it's a multi-year relationship with a lot of trust, and obviously at this point we've spent a lot of time together, and so
Right.
there's they're incredible to work with. I don't want to undersell, and that's not to disparage. I know you mentioned Disney,
No,
and
yeah,
things like that.
no,
That's
but
not to
it's just,
disparage them, but
yeah. They're a different
yeah,
kind of
there's
company, though, and
Yeah.
Universal is in a big way a mom and pop sort of like local. They actually, I mean, like they have that local connection, and like your relationship with them is a clear evidence of how they are much more accessible and ready to have more fun. And it's no slight to anyone else. It's just
No,
cool
they're
that
just
they have
downtown.
that.
They're another
Yeah.
business downtown. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
yeah.
different vibe.
And I will say I get the pleasure of going to a lot of they'll occasionally do like partnership appreciation events and things of that nature, and I get to be in the same room with a lot of their other partners, and I don't think it's like exclusive to us. Like I think they have hundreds of partners they work with in every different area, and they're very partner oriented, and to me a pleasure to work with, and I think that I think that's part of their success, not just, their relationship with us, right? But I just think like their
Yeah.
relationship with the community and other businesses and every different area, really.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know you're a theme park lover and you're a park enthusiast. So when you're there, what is your favorite part of the park to vibe in? And like, do your problems, whatever it is. Where do you like to be? And then where do you actually want to be versus where you end up?
Are you talking about specifically during an Orlando Forum
and
meetup?
your meetups, or
Yeah.
like if you're in the park
Yeah.
and you want to hang out, like now that you've done so much Universal like partnership and like work, you've been in the park a lot. Where is your favorite spots?
I really like Islands of Adventure right now. I think Islands of Adventure is, to me, the most well-rounded. I think the most well-rounded theme park in the world. Like I think it's a really great theme park in a lot
Yeah.
of different ways. I think there's something for
It
a
so
lot of different
is,
age
isn't it?
groups and
It really is a
um,
vibe.
great intellectual property, and so lots of fun things. Sometimes I'll tell a random story. Late at night. Camp Jurassic is walked by a lot, I think, just on any day, right? So,
Sure. Yeah.
but especially because it's just not that it's worth walking by, but because it's like kind of tucked away, you have to
It's
like
hidden,
know where to turn right,
right? It's a secret garden
yes, and
of
beautiful
bones.
place. But during late evenings, even like on a normal like a summer night, like if the park closes at 10 or something, like it's a different vibe. Like the lighting's beautiful, it's got fun water effects, it's got real fire, all kinds of cool things. So inside the caverns, there's like this rope bridge with like a water effect under it. I don't know if you've been back here and seen this.
Oh my gosh, you're breaking my
And
brain.
I used to know how many seconds. I think I don't know if it's a random timer or if it's every consistently the same number of seconds. I think it's actually a little random. But there's this water effect that's under the rope bridge that just like occasionally go and like fly up. So if you're crossing the rope bridge at the wrong time, you get a little damp. And so if if things are slower, it is really fun to go with a group of friends and just say, okay, let's, all one at a time cross the bridge and see who, who ends up getting slashed. So,
Theme park Russian roulette. Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
It's
so, yeah, in a very fun, friendly way. Just who's gonna get what.
That's great. That's fun.
But yeah, just something just to relax a little bit. Just kind of fun.
That's
yeah, but
like
I think
a
Islands
true
Adventure.
local thing. I want to say,
Yeah,
like
for
only
sure.
a local would
Yeah.
understand that about the
Taylor,
parks.
were you always a local, or
I was not. I grew up in South Florida, so
Okay.
3.5 hours away. So there was a period of my life where I was going every year for my birthday. I was going like once a year to Universal for my birthday, but then when I ended up owning Orlando Informer, I was still in South Florida. So, but the moment I think maybe like within a week of graduating high school, I was like, okay, well, I've got to move to Orlando. I own a business called Orlando Informer. I need to
Yeah.
move to Orlando. And so, yeah, I've been here for almost 10 years now.
Whoa, I dig it. You, I guess you also like sort of were growing up in the right age of YouTube and understanding like creators in a way that old media didn't. And I think you have kind of a unique advantage because one of the things I love about Orlando Informer meetups is how many like influencers and like creators you can like run into. I bump into some of my favorite people when I'm at the events. Here I am with Alicia and Jeremy the T, past and future guests of the podcast. It's so great. What was your approach with dealing with influencers and creators? And like, where do you see other like businesses just leaving like money on the table in the way that like you've understood like what creators can actually do, because you're not terrified of the internet like the Gen Xers and boomers that run big companies, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, well, it's very nice of you to say that. I think, every year I have a birthday, and every year I feel slightly less in touch with, like online, culture, so like occasionally someone will
Taylor's
say
like,
something.
Dad,
And I
I'm
was
slowly dying every
like,
year.
yeah, I am.
I creep
I don't want
closer
you
to
to find out
death.
this way.
join the club?
But, I mean,
join
like,
the club. Yeah.
yeah, so occasionally someone will tell me, again, we have a wonderful team, and like sometimes the team will like, mention a trend or something, and I'll be like, I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
But anyways, yes, I do think, we try to work with as many influencers as possible. I think the reason why that is we understand that if you're a prospective guest, like there's no one you'd rather learn from than a creator online that you enjoy, and so it is far more better for the guest, better for everyone versus us trying to like, run a billboard, and like explain what it is on a billboard, like, and billboards have
so
their place,
true.
right?
Right.
But
right.
and then, as to, living that culture, like to me, there's a couple ways we do that. We have sometimes folks reach out to us directly, and we have, like a form that they can fill out where, it goes to someone on the team and they take a look. But a lot of times it's like, again, almost everyone, I would say really everyone at Orlando Former, consumes theme park content and their free
and
time
they
on the
just
weekend,
know.
things of that nature. And
And
so,
they
yeah,
just know.
so if there's a new creator, and we try to get a good variety, like we don't want just like, the biggest creators, right? It's like,
No,
to me, it's really cool to, invite some up and coming creators as well. And so if someone sees someone who posts something, they do a cool Instagram post or they do something on YouTube that we enjoy, like they'll link, we use Slack internally, and they'll link them in Slack and say, hey, like, I think we should invite this person. So sometimes it's very organic, just like we enjoyed their content. Sometimes they specifically requested. But honestly, one of my coolest, like, in the creator space, everyone wants those invites. I think not specifically for us, but just like they want a theme park invite, because I think it's like a way to like signify that like what I'm doing is paying off, to some degree. Like, like, oh, I worked hard to build my channel, and then now I've got an invite to,
validating.
a Disney media event or, whatever it is.
Sure.
And so to me, one of the coolest things is like to see some creators that are doing really well right now. And, they'll say like Orlando Former is like the first like company that ever invited me to something, and to me, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Not because we knew them before they were cool, but just because, I'd like to think that it helped validate them on, their path, and they continued on.
Well, it's so fascinating. I mean, you told me that the company entirely is rooted in community, like it's how it like kicked off, and so it's a very community focused thing to what you're doing. That is like, yeah, we see that there are people in the community of all sizes, and we want them all to feel, like participate. We want them all to participate, and it's super validating. It's incredibly validating because the event is like a premium event. Like, we are not messing around when we go to Orlando Informer meetup. You know what I mean? Like, it is time to lock in. It is it is amazing. So I want to share that, like, as a creator, it is the best like place to make content. It's the best time to make content. I've infamously made some content that has gone extra viral, including my hangout with the Grinch dressed fully as Max, in a Max onesie, and it's just because the park, it's the limited capacity of the park really enables you to enjoy your specific niche of the park, be it coasters, be it characters, be it dining, be it novelty dining, be it whatever it is, dark rides. Like, you have the run of the park if that's what you're into. And like, I highly recommend that being the thing you do at one of these events, especially if you do like a 2-night Orlando Informer event, like to dedicate one night to just going hard on like the one thing you love about the parks. Because like, I hung out and met the Grinch twice that night and had an absolute blast. I just had a blast, and I've met Donkey and Shrek and Fiona, and I've met lots of characters. When did you like wise up to being like, that's something we need? Or has that always kind of been a part of it with like the Toad chorus when you got Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley kind of thing? It was always like, oh no, it's entertainment's part of it. Cause that's not part of it for a lot of other after hour events. It's not part of it.
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know if there was a turning point. We do a lot of research as to, like, I mean, I'd like to say that most of the decisions we make are like research back to some degree, and so.
Sure.
And thankfully we're in a really unique space where like guests love providing feedback, which I don't think is true for every business. Like, if I owned like a paint business where I was selling like buckets of paint, I just don't think people would go out of their way to like provide feedback about my business, you know. But when you're in the theme park space, like, people like talking about their vacation, they like talking about what went well, what went poorly, and so it provides us a great opportunity to tweak it. And so, you know, we ask, like, what specifically did guests do? What did they specifically enjoy? And we try to adjust based on that. You know, we've done a lot of unique entertainment things over the years as well, like that are kind of out of the box. And so, to me, yeah, but to your point, you kind of alluded to it, like it's not like every guest that attends an Orlando Forum meetup thinks the same way and is interested in the same things.
Yeah.
And of course there's like patterns and trends, but like, at the end of the day, you know, some guests really enjoy the entertainment. Some guests, you know, are mostly there for the food. Some guests just care about rides. And so, you know, trying to offer a variety of offerings that, you know, any guest can enjoy.
Yeah, truly. And that, to like, the next point I wanted to make is that it is for someone who has like sensory issues and someone who like is like anxious and is not like they're unfamiliar and they don't know like what to trust and where to put their money. What's cool about your event is that like the doors get open to a lot of places, and so you can go get a slice of pizza at that spot in New York, and you can go get a burger from the Fantastic Four Cafe, or you can go get a butter beer, and you can try pretty much all of the like Harry Potter drinks and all of the, and it gives you like a chance to like try things and like understand the park in a very chill way, and a very like almost like turns the theme park into Costco. You just wander around having little samples and being like, I'll have a little pizza, you know, and or you can go crazy. Like, I took a piece of pizza and rolled a cannoli in the middle of it and made a pizzoli. And I ate it, and I was a culinary expert that night. And I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go to the park and spend money buying a cannoli and a slice of pizza to experiment to see if this would be good and discover pure ecstasy. No, I wouldn't have done that on a normal ticket day. But at Orlando Informer, the world's your oyster. You know, the world's your oyster.
You touched on two things there, and again, this wasn't like a master plan where it was like, oh, let's do this. But two really cool things that just kind of happened by happenstance, I think, really is number one, we hear from guests that, like, for example, they potentially have like a sun sensitivity. And so, this allows them to actually experience the theme parks,
I mean, we all have a Florida sun sensitivity.
Yeah, to some degree, right?
It's pretty rough out there, gang.
Yeah. But yeah, tons of situations like that, different circumstances that it makes this a more ideal way for them to experience the park, where maybe they like would have never, or it would have been like a lot of work to do otherwise because they'd have to bring an umbrella and always have it and reapply sunscreen, like, or whatever the situation. And then similarly on the food point you're making, I can't begin to imagine how many people have told me like, oh, I got to try like this item or this drink and I wouldn't normally like risk purchasing it because I wasn't sure I was going to like it, and now I get it every time I go to the park because I learned that I like it.
Right. And that's okay. Let's just make like a really great point about your events, and what's so dope about them is that you get an after hours ticket to like Epcot and you're getting a Mickey bar, a bottle of soda or popcorn, and that's like it. And like you go to an Orlando Informer event and you're eating the Simpsons donut. You're drinking the butter beer. You're getting the Gilly water. You know what I mean? You're getting like the Dino Parfait. What you're wrecking
yourself.
You're living the life is what you're doing. Yeah. And like it's like you have like the Baskin Robbins black card and you're like just charge it. You know what I mean? It's the limits. There is no limit. And it's wild. It's absolutely wild. It's wild. Yeah.
Well, and not to mention, I don't know a better time to go to the parks than after the sun sets anyway.
Yes,
like the parks are just prettier at night. Like there's no way around.
They're prettier at night. The temperature's more manageable. And like I wish that I could just I wish that they had a second shift, like separate ticket for all theme parks. Like it's the game. Like I wish that I could just like it's just incredible. I that's how I would like to enjoy parks. I would like to wake up on my vacation at like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I want to have brunch, and then I want to slowly approach the idea of staying up late vibing at a theme park. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be up at 6 a.m., to cook, to sweat, to have my butt crack sweat, just so I can enjoy a theme park. No thanks, So...
Yeah, Halloween Horror Nights is really like that, like when you're talking about, that's really the Halloween Horror Nights lifestyle, it's like you wake up at noon and you get some brunch and then you go to Stay and Scream and you go to Halloween Horror Nights and then, go to sleep.
This is the vampire lifestyle,
Vampire lifestyle, vampire life. Yeah. Okay, so you must have the hard data on what we do in your parks when we're gallivanting around. What?
Because we don't know. We're just gallivanting.
When you're looking at the data of what we do during Orlando Informer, what are some of the? You must have had moments where you're like, what? How did this happen? Like, what did they do? How did they drink? How did they drink 8,000 butter beers tonight or something? Like, what have we done that astonishes you as theme park goers now that you see what we do?
Yeah, I was specifically shocked at what you did, Dan. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, pizza and cannoli, that'll do, yeah.
We had a private investigator follow you, and...
You're not going to be back this one. No.
You got me.
You sometimes, I've been doing it for a while now, and there are occasions where I just wouldn't have guessed, what was gonna like catch on. So I'll give an example. We currently, when a guest arrives and checks in for our event, we have a reception area with some arrival bites. So like some, quick food that they can enjoy to kind of hold them over until later in the evening when the food and beverage begins throughout the park. And so this past winter, we had an item that was called, and we released the menu in advance, and we had an item called winter rice.
Dude, winter rice was so good.
You liked it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I ate two cups.
Good. Yeah, I liked it as well.
Carb loading.
So it really, well, number one, when we first mentioned it ever, we didn't say what was in it. We just said winter rice, which created a lot. I mean, it's just like, what could be, what makes a winter rice, so lots of speculation.
Snow and rice.
And then it's a more unique recipe. So like, for example, it had raisins in it. Raisins, very controversial food item, particularly to put in rice. And so, I would say like I mean, just the amount of questions, the amount, and then in the winter we have multiple weekends, and so like weekend one guests come and like everyone's like reviewing winter rice, and then it kind of builds anticipation for like the weekend two guests to like finally get to try the raisins in the rice kind of thing. And so
yeah, I dug it. My girlfriend ate a bunch. It was gluten free, so she was into it because she is celiac, and so I appreciate you also keeping keeping gluten free stuff in the park during the events, and like everything's labeled during your like the little bites. And the bites thing is so smart. It's so smart. It's so good. I love the bites. I love them. I love all the bites.
Thank you.
I get all the bites. I get them all. I love them all. I try them all. I try all the bites.
We haven't announced the lineup for this winter. I did announce that winter rice is not coming back. It was a
scandal.
It was a great season for winter rice. But now we gotta.
I was into it, man. I was into it. Bring it back. Just no raisins.
No, it's not fun.
What about
maybe put peas in
all raisins? What about just a thing of raisins?
Just raisins.
We call
to be honest, like
you're on one side of the fence or the other with raisins. I'm not a raisins guy.
Rice. It's just raisins.
I'm not raisins. Not raisins for me. No. Craisins. Craisins.
Can we play back the clip in the podcast where you said you loved the winter rice and had 2 servings of it?
That's a great point.
Listen.
He's calling you out on your own podcast.
What I'm doing here, Taylor, is I'm expanding my palate, and I'm trying to eat trail mix that has like things in it. You know what I mean? Like usually I just eat the M&Ms out of the trail mix, as you can tell by my obesity. But like now I'm trying to get more into the life of just eating the scoop. Like taking a scoop and just eating the nuts, the berries, the chocolate, just letting it all overtake me. Because it coalesces as you chew and becomes a flavor story. And if I just stop thinking about the texture and just focus on the flavor story. So yeah, I'm letting raisins back into my life slowly though. But I'm not going to get a box of raisins and eat them.
Well, Dan,
absolutely not.
You know what's healthier than eating just the M&Ms and trail mix is not eating trail mix at all.
Yeah, it's good though. Good source of protein, fiber,
it's
and
a trick.
Business.
It's a trick.
Nuts are good for you.
Little trail mix. I love trail mix.
Good for you. Nuts are real good.
Are we
a
Chex Mix or a trail mix a believer? Where do you land? Do you prefer trail mix or Chex Mix?
Completely different.
They're mixes.
They're solving.
I'm asking.
You're not.
Do you
what
see
am I doing? Am I
Chex Mix
hiking
as
or am I
savory
having
only?
a party? It's 2 completely different things.
Okay. All right. Well, that's for the
Taylor,
Chex Mix episode.
You have a mascot. His name is Churro. And you worked with Animax, one of my favorite production companies, to make Churro. And I love Churro. When did you hit the threshold of realizing, we need a mascot? Because I haven't had a chance to talk to anybody who's built a mascot. And so like I'm vibed to like ask you a question or two about it. So when did you decide, we need a walk around?
Yeah, absolutely. In one of our first, not our first. This was like June, maybe 2018. This may have been around the first time we did. No, it was a couple years after we had kind of fully expanded. And so, sorry, I'm like replaying the story in my head here. And so we work with a absolutely delightful husband and wife, Deborah and Scott. And they own a design. Oh, this is really cool. I did not provide this. This is great. And so I actually have. I have like a miniature version of this in my office. This is my wife's office, by the way. The acoustics are better, but in my office there's like a little foam one of Churro. But anyways, husband and wife, Deborah and Scott, absolutely amazing. They do mainly environmental design. And they have done a lot at the theme parks, Disney, Universal, really everywhere. And I had met him years ago, and I said, "Hey, do you want to do some environmental signage for us?" Things like the welcome sign, like how, where to head certain things. And so we still to this day we do like pretty custom one-off graphics for just one event. And then we like redo the graphics, which is a lot of work. Nathan,
if you actually go back to the picture of me with Churro that I'm standing in front of, I'm standing in front of one of the graphics. You do a graphic wall. It's a great photo op. It's just it's a very Instagrammable photo op. It's wise. It's smart. I dig it. I love it.
I appreciate that. And so Deborah and Scott did that wall, and they do all of our, this is just a little piece of it. But Well, this is one of our summer ones. So this was like a Western, like Churro's gone Western. So you can see his like little cowboy hat there in the background. And one of the first times they were doing our branding, they designed a T-shirt that had like a bird flying in the T-shirt. And so people in the Facebook group really got attached to this bird, and then someone posted, it wasn't us, someone posted like, oh, what should we name him? And so we were like, taking input on like what to name Churro, and Churro ended up being the winner. And then yeah, we thought it would be cool to have an actual character walk around the theme park, and the rest is history. But yeah, it was a cool process.
IAPA that you like ran into Animax to build this? Because like for those who don't know, Animax works, and they can't talk about it, and they don't show it because you can't acknowledge it, but everyone inside, especially in the puppet world, knows that Animax builds out a lot of Disney's high-end animatronic like puppets and like like structures. They're like the go-to company. They make really incredible stuff. They're working on like the Harry Potter wand experience that's like rolling out like the walk around, like you can use your Wizarding World wands to like cast spells and do cool stuff. They are like the company that I would go to have them build a mascot. So why did you decide Animax?
Yeah, so Animax really is great with animated figures, which you kind of touched on there, but they do a lot with animated figures and rides across the world.
Yeah.
And they do some characters, but they do a lot of animated
They
figures.
did like the Avatar Banshee that was out in that like experience in wherever it was, Shanghai. Like they did that massive animatronic Avatar Banshee. Like they do not mess around.
Yeah, they're a really cool group of people. And so we actually we went to a different company that is more specialized. I would say they have done more like walk around characters, and they're like, we're busy. And I was like, okay. And so it was actually kind of probably a blessing in disguise, because
Oh boy,
I think
that
probably,
hurts me. That hurts me.
yeah,
That hurts me. That hurts me.
but all good, because we, I think, ended up with a much better fit. And again, very talented group of people. And as you mentioned, they have a great portfolio of things they've done. And yeah, it was a really cool process.
Yeah, yeah. It
But
is.
I will say, one other thing I'll say about this is like we're in meetings, like we have a lot of meetings about like design process of this, and they're like sending like swatches. I should have grabbed the swatches. I have them somewhere here, but it's like ever so slightly shades of blue or something, and it's like,
Oh
which
yeah, bro.
which shade of blue would we like? And it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, like the
I'm like,
Pantone selection is really wild, man. It's crazy. I'm working with this Halloween costume company, and like the nuance of these books that they have, pages of the color red. It's like, how, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love it. I love that swatch selection. That's really cool. It's cool that you have some of that stuff. It would be cool.
yeah.
You should make like a display board, like a storyboard that's like that image, and bring it to the shows, because people would go nuts for like, because Churro is an icon. All right, Churro is an icon.
I appreciate that.
He really is.
I'll pass it
I
along.
love meeting Churro. I get so hyped when I meet him. I love him. I'm Churro supremacy for me, man. I absolutely love it. So, Taylor, I would like to talk to the audience now about how stupidly value like forward your events are, and how like I can't believe that like I just can't believe that these things don't sell out the minute tickets go on sale, because I don't think people understand the value. So I made a table. I made a little table.
Oh boy.
I did homework, and I used a calculator. You wouldn't believe it. And
Okay.
So Nathan, will you please bring up my table here? Because let's just forgive me that I used the
my
Hollywood
goodness.
Studios After Hour logo, but I did find the After Hour logo, and I just want to take an example of the newly announced Epcot After Hour parties. And this is not a shots fired type of thing. I'm not poo-pooing. I'm celebrating Orlando Informer in this comparison. So let's just make that clear with all of our business relationships. But I just want to say, you go to Epcot After Hours. I've done a lot of them. It's like $180, $199. 10 rides. You're in one park. You get Mickey bars and like Diet Coke bottles, and if you're taking your family of 4, it's like almost $800 to do it. And it's like I don't even know. It's like it feels like a middle school field trip. You know what I mean? Like going to an Epcot After Hours party. It's like, all right, everybody line up, Everyone gets a Rice Krispie and a bag of dog food. You know what I mean? And whatever it is that they do on field trips these days.
What field trip did you go to?
That was a petting zoo. That was a petting zoo. I just want to say, clarify, that was a petting zoo I was at.
That's very helpful wasn't
information.
For me,
but yeah, it's very like middle. It's very like field trip versus like going to Orlando Informer. It's like college campus life. You know what I mean? Like literally, like the back doors are open at the parks and they're connected. Like a special hole opens up in both parks and their holes like connect. It's real wild stuff. They have 25 rides, 2 parks, and like everything is turned on. The freestyle machines, novelty snacks, full dinner, salads and burgers and like chicken and all kinds of stuff, bottled beverages like Gilly water, and like for $200 more, you can take your family of 4, just for comparison, to an Orlando Informer event and like get $200 at a theme park is like literally a snack for a family of 4 these days. It's insane. The cost per person, like to eat at a park, it's absolutely bananas. I can't even believe it. And so I can't like, why are people sleeping on this value? Help me understand. Because I know I'm doing a hard sell right now, but I'm flabbergasted that like not everyone is going to this thing and like filling it up instantly, and you have to like book 10 times more of them. Is it still that good of a kept secret that people just don't know?
Well, you're going to make me blush. Number one, I didn't know we were going to really I didn't know we had the chart or everything. This
it's hard journalism over here. We're really throwing
I have
gotcha questions.
Yeah.
So the couple things here. Number one, like we are really aiming for a frictionless experience for the guest. And so like the things you described, like making soda available or whatever it is, across the park or different things, like really it's to try to eliminate any friction that they may have on their visit. As to, we try to schedule the right amount. It's not a good experience and there was a period in the company where this was happening a little more frequently. It's not a great experience for the guest if it goes on sale and then, within 60 seconds it's sold out.
That's true. It bums people out. You're right. Why am I asking for you to make it disappointing? That's a good point. That's such a good point. Because the Oogie Boogie is a menace trying to go to Oogie Boogie Bash. So I get it. I do get that.
Yeah, and so we want it to be. We want, obviously it's great when we sell out, which almost always happens. Sometimes it's not immediate, but it does usually happen, and so that's good for our business, right? So I'm not, and then we get to do more of them. So I'm not advocating for us to not sell out, but I think it's about scheduling the right number, and then to your point, so the early years, a big thing was, especially like when I answered the phones, people would say, and it still happens occasionally, but it's pretty rare nowadays. But it's, hey, like, how's this real? Like, I don't think this is real, and so I'm on the phone with them, like trying to convince them it's real.
Smokes. How do you convince people you're real?
Well, thankfully we have so many wonderful creators now.
Right.
That,
now it's an okay problem to solve. It's an interesting problem. I'm working like the Halloween costume company that I work for. They're HalloweenCostumes.com. And no one believes that they're real because their company name is HalloweenCostumes.com. Because we don't live in like people don't go to websites anymore. They just go to Facebook and they live on Facebook. And, it's people don't go to domain sites anymore. So it's like they have the struggle all the time. We're real. We're legit. Like, and so I get it. So now I guess you have this pool of content that you're like, we're real. Clearly we're real,
And so now it has, you kind of alluded to it a little bit. I think one of the biggest challenges we have now is guests who don't want to tell, because we ask like, hey, do you want to tell your friends and family? And most people give us a really high score on that. But I think there's some people that like have a fear that we're going to like increase the capacity, or if they tell too many people, it's going to be what I described, where like within 60 seconds it's sold out kind of thing. And so which is unfortunate because it causes us to have to spend more in marketing, where if we weren't spending that in marketing, we could spend it towards the actual experience. Not that, there's nothing wrong with
that's an interesting point though, that like the community sort of becomes, and this is a byproduct, it's part of the success, but it's also part of the challenge, that they become sort of insular and they're like, no, we're happy. We don't need
Yeah.
anything else to change. And I kind of respect that and I get that. But I think to the better point is like respect the need for people who want to vibe the same way as you. You know, people want to vibe like you're vibing, and like let them vibe. Let these people vibe. You know what I mean? Like
And
let it speak to the community that it needs to find. Don't be secret. It's not a secret, you know?
yeah, and it's not everyone or anything of that nature, right? It's just like, a few people feel that way. But I will say, like, if you ever see like occasionally, we'll have a creator come and their video does really well, especially short form content. Like the video does really well, and you'll go in the comments, and like usually one of the first 5 comments, if not the first comment, is like, why are you telling people? It's like, don't tell. And I think there's a little bit of distrust that, again, I think it's rooted in, like, to me, I want to do this for a really long time, and so we would never change our capacity and have it be a poor like we would never intentionally do something that's going to degrade the experience.
You're not going to dilute the experience. Yeah, totally. Yeah. And I totally appreciate that. I do really I dig that. I want to pitch you a way to do creator stuff, and only because I'm coming from the world of Fortnite. All right. Yeah. I watch a lot of Power Rangers are in Fortnite right now, Taylor. It's hot.
Okay.
Hot ticket.
Good to know.
Go Power Rangers. You can be the Megazord. Rita Repulsa, she makes a monster grow. It's incredible. I'm living. But I'm just a Fortnite player. And one of the things that Fortnite does, because I'm in the biz with their creators, is they give them creator codes. And then the creators like kind of like put it as a lower third on their content to be like, yo, use my creator code, code, cash in, you know what I mean? So I think that we might need to, I think if we pivot to a creator code for Orlando Informer creators like myself, so I can hype my creator code. I'm just saying, I just want you to investigate creator codes. All right. I just want you to watch like one or two Fortnite vlogs. I just want a cool creator code. All right. I want to be able to like hype up my lower third as I'm vlogging at Orlando Informer. Be like I'm a live streamer, but it's all pre-recorded and I've edited it, but like hit up my creator,
Yeah.
like G Fuel or something, Taylor, like we got to like,
So lots of, I'm understanding every third word when you started talking about the Fortnite characters.
Remember when you felt old earlier? Yeah, I know.
Yes, yeah. But I will say, if you send me a link to like one of these like Fortnite like lower third videos that you're talking about and send it to me, I'll show it to the team and say, hey, I think we should do this.
Yeah, we should creator code it up. And then I also want to give you I also have one more pitch, because I love like how you are onto, and we alluded to this earlier, the sensory thing. Have you ever considered an Orlando Informer night that's like, and because the only reason I pitch this is because Legolands around me do this. And I don't know if you know this, if you've noticed Orlando, the one down in, I don't know, it's like St. Peter's Garden or something. It's not in Orlando.
It's in Lakeland.
It's it's a
where
distance from Orlando.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It's not Lakeland. It's Oh, that's going to bother me.
Winter Haven, I believe.
Winter Haven,
right?
Absolutely. It's
Winter Haven, right. They do like sensory nights where like everything's turned down. Like there is no music. There, like the rides are quieter. We turn off the strobes and stuff. Have you ever thought about trying out like a sensory friendly night, because you're on the cusp of it, as like the way that the event's designed. And I truly believe that there's an audience out there who would love to be at the parks and not have to like wear their like headphones, like the head things to like keep them, or all that, I'm just want to throw it out there that it's out there. I know you do a lot of research, so I'm looking forward to my next Orlando Informer survey where you ask me about an auditory friendly experience.
Yeah,
I think he catches people. He records his pitches that way.
I think it'd be really cool. Yeah, I would love. There's a lot of different things that we could do and serve a specific audience. One we tested, and I wouldn't be surprised if it came back one day. We did adults only for a couple nights. Where
how did I miss out on those? When did that happen?
Yeah. This was a couple of years ago. We tested some nights where it was 18 plus.
Nice.
And because people have strong opinions on that, and some people would really prefer a theme park experience where it is solely adults. I
mean, there's entire cruise lines that are that vibe, like Virgin Atlantic and stuff. It's just what it is, Interesting.
So not the same, but I think there's lots of areas that it could go, and wouldn't be surprised if one day it did. Like anything, there's just different considerations, like the integrity of like certain things, and like if you change certain things, it's like, oh, it like changes the integrity of, kind of like,
Sure, sure,
yeah.
sure, sure. Yeah, it is interesting that you and I kind of respect that you're like trying out versions of what you're doing, and like let's try out an adults only thing and see what it is. I didn't even realize that you were already dabbling in like how you like curate the evening. So that's really rad. I dig it. Now,
Yeah.
how do you end up with Woody Woodpecker as like the character that I'm constantly seeing during my snacks, like my snacks and such? Because I love that you kind of have this ability to unlock like rare characters that people don't get to meet. Like, can you play around with that more? Can you play around with it all? The characters that activate in the parks when we're there at Orlando Informer meetups?
Yeah, it goes back to that private investigator we were talking about earlier. So, they radio in your location, and then and then the character comes around the corner, and because we want to make sure you have a good video. No.
Yeah. Because like the Grinch is like I live for your. It's incredibly worth. People wait 3-4 hours to interact with the Grinch. Like it's crazy that he's just like by and by like a walk up, for a big chunk of the night.
Yeah, and I will say specifically with that character, they are so incredibly popular right now. But there was a time at our events where he just roamed around. He just, kind of just visited wherever he wanted. So he's at the moment, he's a little too popular to be able to roam around. But yeah, so Universal has a really amazing entertainment team, and we've worked together for a long time, and they know that our guests prefer characters that are a little less common. And so most of the time they're pitching, different characters that could be there, and different outfits and things of that nature. Occasionally, there's other characters. There's one that her title is just like there's completely original characters that don't come out very often.
Yeah.
So like an example of one of these, we've had her at the event before. This character is just called Italian Mama. And she just like yeah, yeah.
May I
And so
please reserve one Italian Mama for?
yeah, yeah.
Wait, what is
And
Italian Mama? Give me what is her vibe?
well, I think I kind of already described her vibe, to be honest with you.
But I mean, is she hanging out over by the pizza place in New York? Like,
She is. Yeah, how'd you know?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah, that's a good point. Where else would she be? But I didn't know if she was free roaming. Italian Mama over by Transformers, being like, "What is this?" It would be hilarious to me. They don't have no Transformers where I'm from. I would love a free roaming Italian Mama. But oh my gosh, I'm living for that. I'm absolutely living for that. I love that.
And she hasn't been back for a while. So maybe we need to bring her back later this year. I don't know, but yeah,
Hashtag bring back Italian Mama. Yeah.
uh-huh.
Yeah. And it is kind of a life hack, events like this, and other events do it. Like Run Disney is known for like bringing out weird and rare characters, but I really appreciate that. And to say that there's a huge audience for that, just as much as there is the rides and the food. And so just my hard pitch is to adding. I want more. I want like hanging out with like Beetlejuice and Frankenstein. It's so cool because there's no one in the park. To be walking through the park, and Beetlejuice is just sitting on a bench on Sunset Boulevard or whatever, and you walk up on Beetlejuice just hanging out, and you startle him. It's just experiences you just don't have. It's so cool. The costume characters that you go hard on. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I want more. I'm being selfish, but I just want more. I want more. Now, you're also a collector of fine theme park artifacts. You're like the national treasure Nicolas Cage of theme parks. You have many strange things, including the dueling dragons, dragon heads from the signs. Where are they now? My first question: are they hanging up? They in storage? Like, what are we doing with your collection of artifacts? And when are they coming to the Orlando Informer event so that I can see them?
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier when you said I needed to bring kind of like the design a churro board. That is a common request, so I wouldn't be surprised if one day that started occurring. No plans for it in the immediate future. The dueling dragons, it was actually from the ride vehicle, so it was from the front of the ride vehicle.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah.
And so
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's currently in a room of my home on the floor because I need to get them. There's one of the tooths is kind of like, I don't want to say rotting, but it's like, the
I have a
paint is
picture of
peeled
him,
off.
Nathan, I think in the doc if you want to pull it up.
You
On the
do
blue
not.
one or the red one? Which one's peeling? Or did
Oh, I want to say blue.
you got one of each, right?
Yeah, I have one of
Yeah.
each.
Well,
And
of course.
so
Yeah, of course. Of course,
and
baby.
so I had some individuals come over and check them out, and they're gonna work on repairing them, and then work on kind of a mounting system for the wall, and they're gonna go in my office. I also have Esmu the cow for from Twister, the Twister Q. That was my first big item, actually.
What? You have the
You didn't know
Twister
this?
cow? No. I didn't know you
Yeah,
had
so
the
this
Twister cow.
Yeah, so the Twister cow, very interesting. So, and I can, like, I don't know how much post-production we're doing here, but I can send like photos or like videos of some of this stuff if you're interested.
Absolutely.
But,
I would
or if
love
you
to
just
see.
personally want to see it.
Yeah,
Uh,
I absolutely would like to see it, and yeah, we'll make a clip of Taylor's crazy theme park collection. I can't believe he has all these theme park things.
I guess theoretically it's already been playing, right? If
Right.
my magic
Oh,
works.
right.
Right.
Yeah, duh. And so so Esmu, so she was in the queue of Twister. I don't know if y'all did Twister when it was open, but
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
and on your right there was a button there was a cow with a button you could press, and the cow moves and it says drink Esmu milk fresh from the farm. And so I didn't know this when I actually got, well, so first of all, that one in particular I got from when Universal had a prop shop. So
Yeah.
Universal had this idea for a prop shop, and this was like the first item, like one of the very first items they ever put in there. And so like I would like to think that I was probably one of, if not the first person to purchase like a major item from there. And I think I did it a little too quickly, because after that I was like the prices went like crazy. This was relatively affordable, and then like now it's I think a
How
little
do you
different.
get
But
do they wheel it out? Like, do you wheel a cow out like normal? Like, do you have to take it past Voodoo Donuts? How does that work?
So the cow particularly, I have photos of this somewhere too, because this was I was still in high school when I got the cow, because I remember like I had to take it home, and so I've got all these photos. So the cow we took out of one of the back gates of Universal, over by there's a gas station right behind Universal, and so we just met him at the gate, and they put it in the car, and then I've got photos somewhere. I don't know if I can find these, but I've got photos somewhere of like it next to real cows. I think like at a turnpike stop or something. Like someone's transporting a cow or something.
That's amazing.
And then at Chick-fil-A, with and so but anyways, yeah, the cow was cool. I didn't know this at the time. Well, and then they sell it to you, and they're like, yeah, we're not sure if like it works at all. And I got really lucky with the cow in particular, where like I just plugged it in and it worked. Like I had to clean it out a little bit, it's a little dusty, but like there was almost no work required, and it still works to this day. I mean, years and years later. I mean, so
Wow.
whoever made the cow did a great job. But the story goes, I don't know, I don't think this is public anywhere, and I don't know if I've ever shared this publicly, but so I'll probably like exclude some names. But the story goes, when Twister was being built, someone mispronounced a member of Creative's name, and like the team thought it was funny. And so the reason Esmu is named Esmu is because it's close to someone in Creative's name. That I think they're retired now, but yeah, it was mispronounced,
Oh,
and so
okay.
that's why Esmu is Esmu.
Wow. What a piece of history. That Twister ride was the best, man. That Twister attraction was
Was
so
it?
Was
it?
Was. It absolutely
I think it's fun.
was. It
think it's
absolutely
fun.
was. It had
Hey,
the
every ride
vibiest
needs
queue.
its defenders.
It had
It's
the
okay.
vibiest queue ever. Are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
it did.
Dusty's
Absolutely.
van. Dusty's van. Oh, I was living for
I
Dusty's
love
van.
I love any pre-show that shows me two actors that won't talk to each other in real life. It's great. It's perfect.
I like that. I liked when Bill Paxton, would hit you with, I think it's the second pre-show, and then he would say, "There's only one thing left to do. Hold on for your life." Like that.
Oh, no one has ever cashed a check so well than that pre-show
man.
video.
I'm telling you, I bring Twister back. I'm living for Twister.
Twister was great.
Twisters.
Twister's a movie I will watch on TV no matter what. If it's on in a hotel, I'm watching all commercial breaks. I'll watch Twister over 5 hours just to get it all in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Hey man,
yeah, I love
Twisters was
Twister.
a hit. I say we put it in Simpsons Ride or something. Let's do a big old Twisters. Let's get crazy.
Everyone loves Twisters, man.
Yeah.
Twisters.
And,
Yeah,
Pinocchio.
go ahead, David.
Also have Pinocchio.
Oh yeah, you do have some of the Shrek 4D stuff, right?
Yeah, I have the Pinocchio from the pre-show.
Taylor, we need to see these things.
There's a reel of that one. That one actually had to be repaired.
Oh really?
Did the Universal Prop Shop, and I would assume the Lakeland Antique Mall, but like when you come along, they're like, oh, here he comes. Like,
well, the latest drama, again, this is also not public. Depending on when I post about this, y'all might get the exclusive on this.
Ooh.
But I was on vacation last week. I've been kind of into nature lately, and like real parks, not just like theme parks. And so I was in, I don't know if y'all have ever heard of these things. They're crazy. They have like trees and stuff. It's weird.
Wild. It's crazy.
But we were in Yellowstone, which I can tell you doesn't have amazing reception. Not something you're really looking for in Yellowstone, right? And so we're in Yellowstone, kind of just enjoying our day, trying to see what wildlife we can find. And I was noticing a few notifications, but I was just like, it's not that important. Like I can get to it later. And then finally, like someone texts me a video, and it's all the rocket stuff at Lakeland. And I'm like, oh no, like this video was posted 8 hours ago. And so maybe I don't get stressed. It's very tough to stress me out, but I really like collecting this stuff. And so I was very and we were going in and out of service. And so we were actually on the 2-hour drive back to the hotel. And like, I would be like, I happen to have the cell phone number for the person who was selling it in Lakeland. And so I was trying to text him, but it was going in and out, and like some of the messages weren't delivering. And I was like, what's left? I was really trying my best to figure it out.
Whoa.
So long story short, I do have a test seat in my office. It did work
That's
out.
Awesome.
Yes. So
I love just a big ups to Lakeland Antique Mall. I lived in Lakeland for several years, and it was always just a blast to go, and there'd always be something, and you always get to say hi to Robin Lopez because he was there. He was always there too. So what a place.
Yeah, and that's Eric with Vault Collectibles, who's doing a lot of that. So shout out to him. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, nice, absolutely. Nice. Yeah, it's wild down there. I have behind me is one of the Electric Mayhem road cases from Muppet Vision. I own 2 of them. So I also I love the idea of having like park use props. It's a very real cool thing to have like that sort of ownership of something, that brought joy. And what's cool about the road cases that I have is that they were the fake speakers in the pre-show. So it's not just, cool. It's like a weird layer of theme parkisms is like the fact that they took real road cases and turned them into fake speakers. And so the reason why they couldn't, they trashed these and resold the rest is because they were wired and chopped up for speakers. So yeah, it's fun to have stuff. I'm jealous of the proximity you are to Lakeland Antique Mall versus me, because when something drops, you can get it fast, and you got to.
Unless you're in Yellowstone, and then you're
by the way, Yellowstone Informer meetup. When are we gonna have a national park meetup? Informer meetup.
That'd be cool. I mean, if enough people in the comments ask for it, I would do that for them. But yeah, obviously beautiful.
And will
place.
Yogi Bear be meeting at the Yellowstone meetup?
That'd be really cool. What's going through my mind is we need connectivity for guest arrivals, and when we do it normally, we have backups, but it's what's my backup going to be? I'm going to need sat phones to get arrivals handled.
Might need a helicopter or two as well.
I'm looking forward to it.
Hey,
I'm looking forward to it.
Those lodges though, gorgeous. You can do a lot in those lodges.
Very pretty.
Beautiful places. So.
Do a Shining meetup.
Hey. Oh. Hey, there you go.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to your nature meetup. At the end of every episode, we do something called Fun and Tell, talk about something fun we're doing outside or inside of theme parks or whatever we just talked about. It's a fun moment. Nathan, what are you doing for fun? What is this?
I love puzzling, and I have a big old puzzle table, which lets me rotate the puzzle and do all the business. But I have found that I also very much enjoy, while listening to a podcast or an audiobook, putting on my MetaQuest VR system and playing Puzzling Places, which is I don't know if they make them.
You don't do puzzles in VR, do you? You don't sit there and do jigsaw puzzles in VR.
No, let me explain. It's more
good.
complicated.
Oh my gosh, we're endgame guys. It's real late stage.
No, it's good. It's good.
VR jigsaw puzzles. Oh.
No, it's a little more complicated. Do you remember those like when we were growing up? Those 3D puzzles that they would release, it'd be like the Sphinx or whatever, and they'd be these foam core pieces, and you'd put it together and it'd turn a 3D thing. So it's a lot like that, where you have they'll do these either 3D renderings or you can now, of course, I'm trying to remember the name of it, but they're like ways of, they shoot out lasers and they like copy the whole room, right? And so they've gone to all these beautiful places, and they're like, here is a beautiful shop in Tokyo, and it's broken up into these little pieces, and you can use your hands to sort of grab it and look at it and sort of try to rearrange it and put it together, and it's just this really unique kind of way of puzzling that you don't get to do in real life. And so it's a fun, immersive sort of experience. I really enjoy it. So Puzzling Places on VR and PlayStation VR as well.
Wow.
Do you have a lower third promo code that you
I don't.
put right after this? Okay.
I wish I did. They'll have to talk to me about my my gamer codes or whatever.
Doesn't have a gamer code.
Get at me, Puzzling Places.
Yeah. Interesting. So you're just putting chunks of things back together.
Yeah, Dan, it's called It's like meditative. It's fun.
Yeah. Like that guy in the Resident Evil movie who got like chopped up into diamonds. You know what I mean? In that hallway. You know what I'm talking about? That first Resident Evil movie?
Yeah,
he got chopped up into chunks, and you would put it back together in VR.
Yeah,
they need that level.
Exactly,
they need that level of Puzzling Places. Put the guy who got chopped up in the Resident Evil movie back. I
completely agree. I did put together a kimono, a 3D kimono, which is very nice. But no person.
Did you put together a kimono? Yes, that's the
kimono. Very, very good. Very good. You are a father of two, very obviously.
Speaking of wacky games, I'm playing a game. I just beat a game called Viewfinder, which I'm very obsessed about. Which is just a game where you hold pictures up and then let them go, and the pictures become part of the environment, and you solve puzzles through pictures. It's a very wild game. I won't say anything more than that because playing it broke my brain. My brain felt tired after playing in a great way, in a way that I was like, oh, okay, I'll live a little longer, I think. But it's it's that kind of game. It's like medicine. A game, like sometimes you got. It's like people who do Sudoku regularly.
Yeah.
It's just you feel smarter when you beat it. You're like, I can't believe I figured that out. Yeah, that was crazy. That's all. I'm just a big fan of a Viewfinder. Check it out. Taylor, what are you up to, buddy? What are you doing for fun?
Well, so my mind, I was like, which story should I tell here? Like, where am I going to go with? So I think I'm going to go with a little more sentimental to me. So I've always been passionate about animal welfare, but I've been getting a little more involved with one of the shelters here in Orlando, Pet Alliance. So we've been involved with them. They're rebuilding their shelter. Unfortunately, there was a really bad fire years ago, and so we're in like the final stages of their new shelter. So it'll open early next year on John Young, and really excited for it to open. So if anyone's listening, wants to know more about Pet Alliance, or thinking about getting a new pet,
when are we gonna have rescue pets at the Orlando Informer check-in? Like 4 or 5 rescue pets as like the ambassadors of like, these guys need new homes. Take a dog home tonight as a souvenir from Orlando Universal Studios. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, give them all cute names. One's Jaws, one's King Kong. You know what I mean? Like, you would churn through some dogs. I'm telling you.
You are not the first person to talk about that this month, so we will see. I'd love to do that one day, and but yeah, so very excited about that, and I think it's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be a huge new shelter. So obviously a very terrible situation, but I think it'll end up with a lot more animals being saved. So excited for it.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. Good for you helping out a shelter like that.
It's certainly better than our two things, that's for sure. We're like, I play video games, and you're like, well, I save animals and help, and So
no.
What can we say?
He raised the bar. He raised the bar.
Did.
That's okay.
He raised the bar.
Our bar was so unbelievably low. It was in the gutter. It had just done a Tough Mudder. That's how low our bar was. And Taylor lifted it up out of the mud. He lifted it up right to sweet old baby Broadway Jesus. He gave it to us. So appreciate that, Taylor. Thanks for giving us a beautiful high note to end on. Saving dogs.
Absolutely.
My goodness. We're worthless YouTubers.
If people want to know more, OrlandoInformer.com, of course, right? Would be the place to go.
Yeah. OrlandoInformer.com sounds great.
And use my creator code, Disney Dan.
Yeah, right there
Get that
in the lower
discount.
third.
Get that discount on your tickets. Hype it up. Show my support. That and all that being said, if you do go to DisneyDan.com, thedisneydan.com, I'll have an affiliate link where you can click through and get tickets with my cool discount and support me as a creator. So, which I also love that you do for creators. It's a very fun way to interact with your favorite creators. So like get hyped and like come do these things. I can't wait to figure out. I have every event on my calendar. I'm just trying to figure out which ones I can make so I can, reach out to Rebecca and say, hey, can I come to this one and this one? Because I love letting people know when I'm gonna be there, because I love meeting you guys. I truly love meeting you, and Orlando Informer is a great time to do it. So those meetups kick butt. So go to
Thank you.
Go get those tickets. Go to Orlando Informer meetups, and also go to OrlandoInformer.com for like tickets and booking and stuff. I mean, they got great deals. They got the good coupons.
Yeah.
And
don't forget.
Thanks.
Hashtag bring back Italian Mama.
Oh yeah,
What have I done?
Very much looking forward to Italian Mama. I cannot wait. I'm going to come dressed as a meatball sub and see what she thinks.
Oh my goodness, this is gonna be wonderful. I thought you were gonna say you're gonna dress up as a pizza cannoli, so that would have been complicated to dress up as. So
Yeah.
One day
I could make it happen though. Hey, and Taylor, if you haven't tried pizza cannoli, a pizzoli is what I call it. A slice of it's almost like God was ready for it, because the slice of pizza is perfectly sized to roll the cannoli in. You know what I mean? Like there's no like overlap. I don't count the crust.
It's a great way to barf,
because you don't need bread on bread on bread. I crust off, but then you have this perfect like triangle. It's like a little croissant with a cannoli inside. I'm telling you, pizzoli, change your life. Change your life.
yeah, dinner has been decided. I appreciate that.
This has been a production of 710 Media.